Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming, and before long, Dragons Dogma 2. We're just waiting the last few days before launch, and so in that time we've decided to create a set of videos dedicated to the vocations of the game, aka the classes. In this video's case though, I'm covering the vocation I'm going to start the game with, and maybe even main. It's of course the brand new vocation, Thief. Well, while it's true that Thief is a new vocation for Dragons Dogma, it's more that it's a combination of two former vocations, which aren't in the sequel. Thief is essentially Strider and Assassin, which, rather than being, say, an advanced vocation, is now a starter, so you can begin the game as a Thief. Strider and Assassin were able to lean into things like bow gameplay, or use swords or even shields, but Thief is entirely melee focused, leaving range to the Archer vocations. So Thief. If you're interested in this vocation, I'm going to cover all the details about it, and then you can go in with confidence about the choice. And also I will be doing a couple comparisons with the way things worked in the original game compared to this one. To kick us off though, let's talk Thief and the general concept. You're wielding two daggers, striking in combination attacks, landing strike after strike constantly while moving around the target at lightning speed. You want to never slow down, never be caught, like a fly that can't be swatted. Ready to climb the monsters at fast speed compared to everyone else, reach the weak spots and break them, and with their ability to step in and away at a moment's notice, thieves can evade any retaliation or directly counter it for a brutal finish. They enhance this output by using different tools like lighting their weapons on fire, using smoke bombs or explosives, alongside other flashy weapon arts. With that in mind, this is the most mobile vocation in the game, able to dash step, sprint, climb and bounce off walls faster than anyone else. So that's the concept. Let's now talk specific skills and how to make the most of them. We have a lot of clips and bits of footage for the vocation and different sources for weapon skills and details, so just be aware that some clips to show what I'm talking about might be higher or lower quality than others. From the footage shown though, we can see that there's three important core skills to consider. You have the light attack, Carve, and the heavy attack, Twin Fangs. Now from what I've seen, Carve is just your standard basic combo attack, sending out various simple dagger swipes and stabs, but Twin Fangs is really interesting. It's the way the Thief is striking forward with both blades at once. This can be used while you're climbing, to force the daggers into the target, to basically give you something to hold on to. Or, really important, you could pin a normal enemy with this ability to hold them down. This leaves them exposed for a critical hit, follow up with another Twin Fang. It looks like during a pin you can even use other weapon skills and other options. Another neat detail I've seen is people using Twin Fangs after leaping from the air and landing on a target, holding the fangs down, instantly attaching and dealing good damage, like a proper plunge attack. Also core to the Thief is that swift step ability. That's what you're seeing on the R1 bind. It's that very simple but very important movement skill that allows the Thief to step in and around a foe, evading its return attacks while you continue to unleash hell. Those are kind of core skills that we've seen, but for weapon skills, we've seen quite a few. There's the classic pick in Helm Splitter, and that's going to be one that's hard not to run. Just like the original game, Helm Splitter has you leap up into the air and vertically spin like a Beyblade or Captain Levi. You will shred targets that touch that, so this leap will be ideal for reaching up high for weak points on a target, or you could use it as an evasive leap that's also an attack at the same time. It should be also usable mid-air, and in fact the spin will continue while you're airborne, right? So using it from up high will give you more time to spin longer. So the larger the target, the more effective this should be. Also very commonly seen in a lot of the footage is another weapon skill, Biting Wind, which allows for fast dashes while extending the blades out. It's like passing by the target in a dash while dealing a nasty hit, but it can be followed up with another Biting Wind if you use it on the right timing. So as you land the blow, you use another Biting Wind and then you get another one, triggering over and over and over. That's extremely effective for bouncing around and dealing lots of damage in AoE against a tightly grouped pack of enemies, or against a large target that's trying to pin you down and just can't catch you. We see also in a lot of different footage that people have weapon skills such as Smoke Screen and Powder Charge. Powder Charge has been shown in a couple of different clips. We see some thieves climbing onto a target and then attaching the Powder Charge to its face and then leaping off and triggering it while they fall down. Pretty effective weak point punishing. This is a familiar ability from DD1. Assassins could use this, but they could place it on the ground under them and then trigger it when they're ready for a nice bit of AoE. We seem to be able to do exactly that with this DD2 Thief version, but interestingly, I've also seen a couple examples examples with the thief holding like this literal fire keg that they throw that explodes on contact. In a couple trailers, I've seen a thief use that to unleash a waterfall mid-fight. So there seems to be a lot of explosive potential with that one ability. What about the smoke screen though? Well, we do have a couple clips of people using it. It's essentially a smoke bomb which will obscure yourself and messes with the enemy vision. It appears to blind them, leaving them somewhat exposed or vulnerable. You could also use it to lose aggro if you got like the wrong attention at the wrong time. So it's nice to have as a defensive tool. In terms of enhancing your damage per hit though, it was shown in the thief montage that the thief can drag the weapons together to light them on fire. This works as a short-lived fire buff, which can be absolutely insane if you're dealing with an enemy that's weak to fire. However, we do see in a lot of different clips that they're running mages in the party. The pawn is using a weapon boon to enhance them, and that's giving them extra DPS through that. So I would consider this one if I didn't have a mage in the party, or they didn't have the weapon boon to give me that fire damage. Now what about counters? This was something an assassin could do in a couple different ways, and it certainly looks like it's back in DD2. In the thief montage, we have two examples. We see the thief perform this weapon action right as they're about to take a hit. Against this normal enemy, they suddenly sneak around the enemy guard and essentially assassinate them with both daggers, looking like the masterful kill ability from DD1's assassin. But we see another clip where they're about to take a hit from this Minotaur, and then they kind of counter-ignore it, leaping up into the air, spinning back down with a brutal counter-attack. If this is just from one weapon skill doing both of those, then that's an auto-equip in my eyes. Something that I didn't see, which is funny with what I'm about to talk about, is the invisibility effect. Assassins could go invisible in the original, making them kind of see-through and barely outlined, but it was weird. Enemies could still see you, you were just kind of immune to physical attacks and a few variety of others. It was kind of jank, and with how jank that was, maybe they've decided not to include it because we've not seen it, but it is possible we're getting some sort of subtle or new updated actual stealth option. I mean, we are a thief after all, you'd expect it. There's another thing that I was expecting to see that I didn't quite see, which was the original skill Gale Harness. Basically, a nutty buff. It makes you fast as hell. A flat 20% increase to movement, climbing, attack speed, weapon skill. Just insane. So while it lasted, you were a monster for a full 40 seconds. Now, I did see a couple of examples of players blasting around so quick they seemed like they couldn't control their own speed, which did remind me of Gale Harness there, but I never saw a weapon skill or a button at the bottom right that said anything like that or suggested it. It may have been a lasting effect of a different ability like Biting Wind. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's the best I could learn from watching all of the different footage and a load of different clips. Hopefully this gives you a good awareness of the way this vocation works and a lot of its different skill options. Again, this probably won't be all of them. In terms of augments to gain, there are classic picks. We have Vigor, which will reduce the stamina consumed when clinging or pinning, so pretty important. Verve will augment your strength, which is fantastic generally. Subtlety will make it so enemies are less likely to target you, and there's also Gratification, which restores some health when you get killing blows on a target. So some useful stuff there, even beyond a thief. In conclusion though, I think the thief looks brilliant. Super strong, super high DPS, rewarding a player with great twitch reactions and the ability to maintain damage while evading or countering at the drop of a hat. The tools and utility options are going to need some testing to find their true value, but I do think that kind of explosive keg or powder charge is going to be pretty damn strong. Personally, I really like that thief exists now, and it gives us an immediate, really melee focused agile playstyle. Strider and Assassin had too much range considerations for me, and now we have Archer for that kind of thing in DD2. But I'm excited to learn this vocation properly. If you guys have any extra info about the thief, you can drop that in the comments. But until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.